details if a person really needs to speak to you.
Well, our center is in Sanford. It's on the corner of 1792 and 10th Street. The actual address is 1002 French Avenue. Our phone number is 407-323-3384. And I just want to assure you that you are never alone, and that there are people at the center that would receive you with compassion and with mercy, and would walk along with you during this difficult time.
And that's always good to know. Now, your hours of operation is?
We're open on Monday and Wednesdays from 9 to 2, Tuesdays from 9 to 5, and Thursday evenings from 2 until 8.
Wonderful. And now, Minister Kuweko, how do you feel about some of these things now where we've entered? Because we've entered an area, and again, we don't mean to bash men, and that's the reason why I want everyone to know, and even if you are a man listening to my show, that by all means I respect all nationalities and all people, but you do know there are some men that have been misguided on the way, but it's never too late. It's never too late for you to get back on track again. Whether you need to go to church or whether you need to go get ministered privately, whether you need to go get counseling, whether you yourself need to just have a quiet moment and sit down and read the Bible. But it's never too late for you to change, because change is ever evolving. What do you think?
Change is there, and as men, a lot of times they don't have a father figure in the house to learn from, and that's the problem. And so they're learning from the streets, and not having a proper value. Young men go off that way. So it varies on both for women and men, that this is there where you don't have both parent in the home to guide. And even when both parent is in the home, sometimes the work situation takes up the parenting so much that they don't have time for the children.
Absolutely, and that's another thing I can definitely vouch for, and you too, I'm sure. But what would you give, what solid teaching would you give to a man, a young man right now, or a man that is listening to you on the radio talk, Minister Kuweko? And if you want to share your age, so maybe they can relate to, who are you? Let's hear a little bit about you.
Well, a little bit about me. What's in my mind right now is I'm coming from a background in Jamaica, and I grew up around crime. Doing and looking at those situations, I have learned what not to do by experience. And hearing the voice of God when I was 21 years of age changed my life around, from a gangster in the street to a preacher today.
And what happened when you were 21?
We're talking about the power of a woman. A young lady saw me that was in the church and invited me to the church and to a crusade meeting. And for 7 weeks or more, she kept on asking me to come. So one day I saw her at a bus stop and I went. And from that day, it made a difference in my life, because I heard the spirits for myself.
And what happened? I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to make you testify this. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to
Go
testify?
ahead and talk talk.
I am saved, and saved that my life can be a much better life now today to guide others. And when you say saved from what? Saved from walking in the wrong path of life, and to continue now on a path to help others. This is why children's ministry means a lot to me. Parental guidance means a lot to me, because these are issues I see that the home need to improve on.
Now, you mentioned 21. How old are you now?
Okay. I am 54.
Wow, and this is amazing. That's from 21 years old until now, he has been walking in the grace like this. And what do you do overseas?
Well, in Africa, I do work there as a minister also, and Jamaica. Anywhere I go, life is ministering for me, because the divine lives in and through me.
And do you have a school?
In Ghana, West Africa.
Really? What do you do with your school?
That's an educational center, and it's a training center for the people to come and learn, and they bring their children. It's different where you can pay money here and get, sometimes that family don't have enough and they say they want their child to come. They might bring a goat and say, take this as a, and that you can feed the children. And so we do the bartering system still in some areas.
Okay, and what's your school called in West Africa?
In Kuruma, School of Learning.
Okay, and you are the owner, the co-owner of this.
Co-owner.
Of this. This is wonderful, and he takes a lot of lovely pictures. A lot of children around the world. He really ministers to as a father figure and a person of God. So again, do you want to add anything to this before we let Andrea come back on and talk to us?
Well, the thing I would like to say is be strong and trust in the will of God.
Amen. All right, Andrea. Ready? Yeah. Well, I want you to say some prayers, and let's just ask anyone. No one called us today because I know this was a little bit more serious topic, and it's a topic that requires for you to deep down inside dig in yourself and say, you know, what they're saying could really be so. And there's a lot of young ladies that have gone through a lot of things that they shouldn't have done with their bodies as well. So, Andrea, have you met someone, and this is just you and I speaking, that has mentioned to you they had several abortions?
Yes, we have on a daily basis. I mean, we see sometimes 10 to 12 clients a day, and part of our intake, you know, the question time of the counseling is asking her, you know, about her pregnancy history. So when we ask them, you know, have you had a miscarriage? Have you had an abortion? They're very open with us. They feel very safe at the center, because for a lot of women, there is no safe place. Even sometimes in the church, this is kind of like the forbidden sin that they want to even confess. So when they know that they can trust us, and they know that this is a safe place, again, they are able to release the pain. And we want to reassure them that, again, we all fall short of the glory, and that that God can save all of us, and He will forgive us for everything that we have done. And when Jesus died on the cross, His blood was shed for every sin, and that includes the sin of an abortion. And also for those women who are, again, faced with a pregnancy. Again, sometimes there's that shame of, you know, here I'm single and now I'm pregnant. Well, this is not the time for Christians or for outsiders to be waving a finger of judgment at her. She's placed enough guilt and shame on herself. What she needs now is to have support and loving people, you know, rallying around her, so that we're not pressuring her or just being another external pressure that would lead her and just be the fuel that would take her to an abortion clinic.
Exactly. Do you agree on this?
Yes, I do.
In what regards?
In the regards that a child suffers enough stress on one's own body, and when you can lean back and say, now I can trust in divine will, trust in someone that's in the flesh also, it makes it very important. The trust factor is a very main role, because many times we don't have someone that we can rely on and trust in, and that's a very sad thing in our society.
Well, let me hear you say a prayer for that moment, and for the young lady and for the young man that may be a little confused to be pushing her in the wrong direction.
Divine Father, today we give thanks and praise that we can come together and call upon the community in such a way as this, that you, Divine Father, will guide and protect the thoughts and the mind of the young and the old to be bounded together in love and unity, that where we grow as one, all grow. Thank you.
Amen. And again, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to our show. I know that it's touched a lot of people today, and I look forward to next week bringing you very important topics like this and many more. Until then, I'm going to thank everyone for listening to WSDO 1400 AM. Thank our evangelists here that are producing this show to make it possible, and for all good things to come to those who give us their blessings. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Let's keep building a better you.
What's that? What it was. Oh, is it? I thought, is it garnet like dark red?
Oh, is this dark? I thought this was black.